Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you about what it's like doing an events management degree, whether I think it's worth it, what I've learned so far, and hopefully give you some advice as to whether you should do one or not and what it's like being part of an event management degree course. So I have just finished my second year of doing events management. I am then doing a placement year and then we'll then be going into third year. So I haven't finished my degree, I can't give you an overall synopsis, but I can give you my journey so far. I did a video like this last year, just a reflection of first year, whether I thought it was worth it, and I think my opinion has changed so far, so I think doing this would be good for any of you who have seen that video and want to know a bit more. So when starting my event management degree or like looking into it, I really couldn't find that much on it other than what the universities were telling me, and obviously they would be a bit biased because they want me to go to their university, so hopefully this will help any of you wondering whether to go or not. Originally I did my research by emailing people that I knew who had already done an event management degree and going on as many university open days as I could to kind of get a feel for it. I also spoke to people in the industry, whether they had gone to university or whether they wished they had. This really helped me, and it turned out that a lot of people that had already gone to university recommended it, and people in industry said that it's a good thing to have but not necessarily a necessity, which kind of is why the huge question is there of whether I should do it or not, because it's not like being a doctor where you have to have it. It's kind of your preference whether you want to. The first thing I would say about an event management degree is it's not as practical as you would think. I'm in second year and so far I've only produced one event, and that was in second year, so first year wasn't practical at all. It was all essays and like coursework and exams. It's not as exam heavy as some other courses, like because I had my live event this year I only have one exam, so that was fine. But obviously it depends where your strengths are, because if you prefer exams to essays you might struggle. Also, if you're thinking event management is going to be event after event after event, it's really not. It's a lot of theory, but not so much theory of events, it's more theory of business, marketing, psychology, events obviously, like the background of it, PR, all of those kind of 5 topics they touch upon at some point because they all link into events. Events is relatively new. I mean, history's been around for what? Not millions, that's ridiculous, but a lot of years, whereas event management has only been a degree for maybe the last 15 years, so it's still relatively new. The course is always changing, so what I'm telling you now might be different from when you enter, but it's good to kind of get an overview from someone who's been through it. I'm personally happy that I went to university. I really loved the experience. I've loved meeting new people. I've had so many opportunities because I go to the University of Greenwich, which is the best in London for event management. If you didn't know and you're looking into it, that might be one of the factors for you. And I love the university, it's really great. And just being in London has given me so many opportunities. It's like my part-time job, I work at Indigo at the O2, which is obviously like their sister concert arena. I don't know what it's called, but it's really good fun and a good way to get your foot in the door for events management. It has also given me the opportunity to do a year in industry and get a placement in London, so I'm working with Cam and Hooper, who are a huge like venue-based event management company, so that's really exciting and it's something that I would never have been able to do if I stayed at home or like didn't do an event management degree, because I think I would have really struggled to be able to kind of gain the confidence to email them or email people, and I wouldn't really know where to look. I'll have the background knowledge of knowing. So I think either way it's either good to do an apprenticeship or a degree, because that way you both get the background knowledge, unless you've just done hours and hours and hours of work experience, in which case you'd have the knowledge as well. Events management is relatively hard to get into. 80% of the jobs aren't advertised, they're made by recommendations, so someone who knows someone who knows someone, they'll get the job rather than you who's a complete stranger. So I think by going to university and broadening your network, broadening your network already, you've already got like a fair percentage of the jobs that you wouldn't have otherwise heard of. Like you've had the experience, you've made the friends, you've made the contacts, and that way you'll have a better chance of like getting into those jobs rather than not even hearing about them. So my degree so far has been split into 6 topics this year. I've had event operations, HRM, which is human resource management, research methods, which is for your dissertation. I've had conferences, exhibitions and corporate events, and event production, which is where I did my live event. So that's 5. Was that 6 or 5? I don't know, I've lost count, but I think that's all of them that I had. I'm pretty sure. So event operations is basically what it says on the tin. It's all about health and safety, risk management, finance, all of those kind of things, which is obviously a step up from year one where I just did introduction to events. So it was kind of what events are, what different types of events have, what characteristics the events have, and all that kind of theory-based stuff. HRM was just for the first term, so it was human resource management. It was for all events, tourism and marketing students. And it was a bit boring in my opinion. It was all about hiring and like talent management and all of this stuff, which really didn't interest me, but obviously it's something you have to know, I guess. Then research methods is obviously compulsory because you need to write your dissertation. Corporate events, corporate exhibitions and corporate events, no, conferences, exhibitions and corporate events was, they should really name that something easier, was an option. So you could choose like a language, you could choose marketing, you could choose you could choose conferences, exhibitions and corporate events, and there was another one which I can't remember, but I think it got cancelled because not enough people chose it, but that was obviously learning all about corporate events, which I want to specialise in, so it was really useful for me. Just getting into the depths of conferences and exhibitions and kind of exploring how they're planned and what goes into making them and how to be an event manager at one of them. And then event production was the one where we did our live event, so it wasn't so much theory based as teamwork based because we were out finding our venues, marketing, sorting out our event, like finding suppliers, finding sponsors and all that kind of stuff. So that was really fun. Took a lot of time, but it was great in the end. So if those things sound interesting to you, obviously university might be for you. It's a lot of writing, a lot of reading, a lot of hard work. So obviously university can be seen as worth it, as you can kind of jump up a few steps and get into a more highly paid job and like a more senior position faster than those who are maybe working up, but it comes at a much higher price. I know some of my friends at uni at the moment are thinking, why the hell did I do events management? Because it is not necessary. You do not have to have an event managed degree. Sure, it has perks, but also has like disadvantages, because I mean it's 3 or 4 years where you're not working, you're not getting that experience, you're just doing the theory stuff. Obviously if you don't like your event management degree and you decide actually I don't want to do event management, it is quite specific, so it is a bit harder to be able to mould into other areas. Obviously if you want to go into PR or marketing or something like that, it's kind of similar but not hugely, so that might be a bit tricky. And university is expensive, especially now, more than ever, probably maybe even more so the next year if you're going to university next year. So yeah, I would just consider that. I mean, thinking about the finance of it, I am still happy that I've gone to university. I do think it's worth it, but my sister is doing an apprenticeship and she's making money whilst I'm building debt, so it's very important to like weigh up both options. I would definitely say if you want to go to university, if it's something you've always been like, oh yeah, I'm going to go to university, you want to live away from home, you want to meet new people, you want to like carry on your education, still be a student for a while, enjoy the long summers, then university is for you, especially if you're willing to read, write and learn like on your own, not having someone breathing down your neck, that's the saying. Then university is for you. But if you feel like actually it is a lot of money, maybe I could get the experience elsewhere and learn the knowledge from other people, then maybe explore other areas such as apprenticeships and work experience, because obviously it's only been a degree for 15 years. People who are in the industry now are most likely don't have a degree, so it is important to kind of weigh up what you want. But then saying that, someone who doesn't have a degree and someone who does, going for the same job, it's difficult to argue that the person without the degree is going to get the job, unless they have loads of experience. So I hope this video has helped. I hope it hasn't confused any of you more. In my opinion, university is good, like go, event management degrees are great. Not as practical as some might think. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of reading and a lot of writing, and a lot of theory that sometimes you think, is this really necessary? But obviously there are other options if that doesn't seem to fit your kind of personality or what you want out of university. If you have any questions, please leave them below because I'd love to answer them. I know there's not a huge amount of information on the internet, so I'd be happy to offer any advice. And thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed it, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe because I post videos every Tuesday. Bye!